everybody, I'm Elise, and although I am no Hillary Clinton supporter, you know what's bullshit? All the people who are now claiming that Bernie Sanders, a lifelong public servant, an old school activist that has consistently worked on behalf of the middle class, on behalf of the poor, on behalf of American workers, is now somehow a sellout, or even worse, a traitor for endorsing Hillary Clinton. That right there is some bullshit. What Bernie Sanders did by endorsing Hillary Clinton was to concede the battle so that he'd have a shot at winning the war. Because Bernie is a warrior with a vision, and that vision transcends this election. It transcends Hillary Clinton. It transcends Donald Trump. And guess what? It even transcends Bernie Sanders himself.
This campaign is not just about electing a president. It is about transforming America.
What this campaign is about is saying loudly and clearly, it is not just about electing Bernie Sanders for president. It is about creating a grassroots political movement in this country.
After nearly 30 years as an independent and as a lone voice in Congress, often speaking to empty halls, standing up for justice and standing up for peace.
And 25% of whom live in poverty in our own country because we apparently lack the funds to provide them a minimal standard of living. I fear very much that what we said yesterday is that war and the enormous destructive power of our armed forces is our preferred manner for dealing with the very complicated and terrible crises in the Middle East.
And after being heard by very few of us in this country, Bernie figured out that the most effective way to advance his progressive agenda and to advance his revolution was to take it to the heart of a large and well-established party, the Democratic Party. To shove it into their faces that even if they didn't want to, they could no longer afford to ignore it.
A massive crowd for Bernie Sanders overnight.
It was a record-breaking weekend for Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. More than 20,000 people, as we said, turned out to see Sanders speak.
Just think about it. Had Bernie run under a third-party platform, the revolution wouldn't have gone anywhere. Y'all would be like, Bernie who? Just ask the libertarians and the Green Party themselves. His message would have never reached mainstream America. So what Bernie is doing now is continuing the insider operation, focusing on accomplishing the goals that he set out for the political revolution. It's why he waited for so long to endorse Hillary. He was booed by Democrats in Congress, but he was patient.
House Democrats roughed up Senator Bernie Sanders in a closed-door session Wednesday after he deflected questions about when he would formally back Hillary Clinton for president, with a group of members booing him at one point, according to 3 Democrats who attended the meeting.
Well, a bit of an exaggeration, but we have differences of opinion.
What happened there? Why would these Democrats start booing you?
Because we look at the world a little bit differently. What I am trying to do, and the reason I ran for president, is to help transform this country, to deal with income and wealth inequality, a declining middle class.
And he had meetings, and he pushed on, and he pressured them, and he negotiated masterfully and gained concessions that advance our progressive agenda. One of the results of this battle were clear when Hillary Clinton embraced tuition-free higher education as a cornerstone of her agenda. The results were also clear when he forced a shift in the Democratic platform to support a $15 minimum wage.
She believes, we all believe, that we must raise the minimum wage to a living wage.
To impose a broad tax on financial transactions, to commit to double federal funding for primary care services at community health centers, to support Americans that are 55 and older to buy into Medicare rather than usual age of 65, to support 12 weeks of paid family and medical leave, to support universal pre-K education and an end to the death penalty, and a constitutional amendment on campaign finance reform. These are remarkable and we're just getting started. I know that many of you may say that I'm just being naive because the platform is simply a piece of paper that nobody follows anyway, right? That, my friends, is an argument that is misguided because the platform shows the vision and direction that the party is heading towards. And the fact that more young people supported Bernie Sanders than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton combined shows that Bernie Sanders and his platform is the future. As William Galston in the Wall Street Journal put it, the party that Hillary Clinton will lead into battle this fall is not Bill Clinton's party. In important respects, it's not even Barack Obama's party. It is a party that is animated by the frustrations of the Obama years and reshaped by waves of economic and social activism. And that activism is in partly shaped by the result of our political revolution, to the point that the entire narrative surrounding the platform is all about income inequality.
The issue of wealth and income inequality is the great moral issue of our time, and we are going to inject the issue of morality into politics today.
And now some of you may be thinking, but Elise, come on. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, they say one thing and then do another. They preach left and then move to the right. And their nominee in particular is sure as hell not trustworthy. Her convictions are confined to polls and focus groups and not to the issues. And to that I would say, yes, my friends, you are preaching truth. We can all see through the bullshit. I get it. And here's the thing. Bernie sees through it as well. He knows that, which is why in a move that even Ralph Nader called brilliant, Bernie Sanders took his time on stage endorsing Hillary Clinton, not to mostly praise her, but rather to announce publicly to the world and all of his supporters exactly what she had promised.
His endorsement today was very dignified. He basically didn't slobber over her. He basically went through all the promises she made in response to his pressure on student aid, on immigration reform, on minimum wage, on criminal justice reform, on environment and climate change. I thought it was a really brilliant statement because he set her up for political betrayal, which would allow him to enlarge his civic mobilization movement after the election and after she takes office. So I think it's a very astute endorsement.
And if she wins and wants a second term, then she knows she'll have to deliver. Not necessarily because she believes in it, but because she wants to get reelected. And Bernie gets that. As for us, as Bernie Sanders and many other activists have made clear, the revolution continues because we have not yet reached a critical mass to enact all of the changes that this country deserves. We're at a tipping point, but we're not quite there yet. So what we get to do is run for public office, and we get to support progressives running for Congress, because although it's easy to forget and a lot of people just think that electing Bernie will do it, a president can't do much without the support of Congress. Now, what Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party choose to do from this point on is up to them. And what you choose to do is up to you. But each and every single one of us has a stick that we can take to Washington and exert our influence, however minimal it may be, to hold them accountable so they invest in a future that we can all believe in.
She should now commit to send specific legislation within 100 days to the Congress after she's inaugurated in order to make sure that she meant what she said in terms of the Democratic platform.
And to the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders and the revolution are here to stay. The invitation has been sent. Join us and invest in a future that we can believe in, or we'll do our best to hold you accountable. Because anything other than that is just a lot of bullshit.
Damn.